Hey guys, Dave from Chill Squad Air and Water Purification. We're here today. I want to show you a couple different things as a homeowner, what you can do to maintain your own air conditioner. We'll show you a couple different things you need to do your basic cleaning of the coils, algicide tabs, checking your split temperatures. So we're going to go through some of those things here today to show you what you can do yourself to protect your air conditioner, make sure it's working pristinely. I'll talk to you soon. All right, we got a hose, we got our meters, our thermometers, a wet vac, our special chemical that goes for drain line cleaning to prevent any drain line backup. So, you know, whenever you got that drain line problems, we have a special patented design that puts a chemical into the drain line and special chemical into the drain line that prevents any buildup in the drain line. It's very good for common drains or problematic drain lines, okay? No evap rinse, foam rinse, a meter, some algicide tabs. This is just our sanitizer chemical, pretty much something like this. But this stuff is designed for, it's all commercial grade for coronavirus, flu virus, things like that. Some rags. And this is everything you're going to need to maintain the system yourself on your air conditioner. All right, let it sit there about a minute or so. This side here is what it's blowing out, 59.2 degrees. And then this side here is 78.8, which is the temperature in the house. So that's a difference about 19 degrees. Anywhere between 19 and 21 is pretty much darn good. So next we're going to take out the cover. All right, so we got a little bit of growth on the unit here. That's the door. So then what you got, a little stuff going on here. The coils probably should definitely be cleaned. Looks like they've been cleaned in a while. Definitely recommend a light for inside your cabinet here. Keeps this all nice and clean. But other than that, your unit looks okay up here. Definitely would recommend a maintenance every 6 months to clean the blower door, check your capacitors, clean the coil. Even though it's a nice new unit, you want to keep it that way. This customer has a little bit of growth on their door. System's only 2 years old, but this is a great environment to grow mold and growth. So we're gonna go ahead and spray it down, and this should be, you should be doing this every 6 months, or having a light to kill any of the growth before it even happens. This is our special chemical that prevents growth and kills mold, kills coronavirus, flu virus. So you go ahead and spray it down. You also spray it in the cabinet, and that cabinet will go ahead and be sanitized. This is all right. We're going to take some algicide tabs right here. We're going to take 2 of them, kind of just put those in the pan down over there by the drain. All right. And then you visually inspect for any possibly leaks, weak points where it could be leaking from, rust spots. These are aluminum, so, you know, if you start getting a rusty spot, you know, maybe something's going on. Inspect the coils. All right, could be using a little clean. Need to wipe down the cabinet. So we're going to go ahead and take our disinfectant here. I have my own stuff. We're going to go ahead and spray everything down, including the doors, back of the doors. I'm going to spray all this down. I'm going to spray the coils, change the stream on it so it actually streams, sprays in there. Okay, I'm going to do all that. I'm going to wipe the other door down. Wipe everything really good. I'm going to go back over it. Just showing, you know, basically what to do. This is all the stuff we got off the walls and the doors. Now, a lot of times you'll have stuff built up on the wires here too, a lot of growth, because you won't have a UV light in there. So what'll happen is you want to take this evap rinse or your spray cleaner, put it on the rag, and wipe all the wires down. Sometimes you'll have to take the zip tie off and wipe them down really, really good. But important thing is get them all nice and clean. And again, UV lights will prevent that. If we come to a house with a UV light, it will not have any growth on here. It'll be clean. It won't have any growth on the door. It'll be clean. I sprayed all that down. We got the top, we got the inside of the coil here, the edges, basically everywhere you can wipe down. Next, you want to come over here and you'll have some sort of float here. Make sure there's no water in here. Okay, you can pull this out, make sure there's no water or any nasty stuff in here. If there is, you got to vacuum it out, make sure it's not wet. Most of you guys will have a little cap on here that'll pull out. It'll be a float. Make sure there's no water in there. And if you ever have a no-cool, this is the first thing that I would check. Pull this out, see if your unit turns on. If you got water in here, then you have an issue. All right, this is your drain line. We're gonna pour some vinegar down here with some warm water as well. All right, we're outside by the condenser here. Get a shop vac. We have one here. Or wet vac, I should say. So if you don't have a small wet vac hose, of course, you're going to need to put the hose on here, but of course it doesn't fit. So what you're going to want to do is wrap a rag around this pipe and then stuff this on to give it so it doesn't have any sort of loss of suction. All right. All right, we're going to turn our vacuum on. I got the attachment that'll go right over the PVC pipe there. Turn that on. Got your hot water here. Microwave some water. You want to hear that noise. It's a good noise to hear. So now basically we're going to pour the water right here. I'm going to go ahead and pour some water in here. Some vinegar we added as well first. Okay. Doesn't even hurt to add a little in the pan here. All it's doing is draining through here. Okay, one thing you're gonna wanna check, get a flathead screwdriver. A lot of times you'll have stuff all built up in here. So you wanna basically scrape all that out, anything bad in there. This one, it looks pretty good other than our tabs. All right, scrape everything out there. Suck it down with your vacuum, with the attachment. But she's clear. That's what you want to hear. Here's some soap bubbles if you are expecting maybe a leak somewhere. Just any dish soap, Dawn dish soap. You can just spray it anywhere. This goes for the inside or the outside coils, wherever you expect to leak. Now, sometimes it'll work, sometimes it won't. Depends on the leak, depends how charged you are. But you can just spray it around there and see if you get any bubbles. Now, if you have a leak detector, that'd be the best thing to do. But as a homeowner, little bubbles work. Same thing on the outside in the condenser where you think the coils might be leaking. All right, now we want to take this rinse evap foam cleaner, and we want to spray it, and we want to be very generous with it. Get every channel. I'll go back over it here in a second, but get every channel all the way down, right? If you have a little bit in the can, I would start in the harder to reach places, right? So do these ones first, all the way down, all the way, the whole coil, the whole way, spray everything down. And then once you do that, you don't really need to do anything. If they're really bad, you can rinse them. Everything will go into the pan and into the drain. You might want to vacuum it out. So go ahead and spray it all down real good, and then put the doors back on. Whew. Halfway done through the maintenance, and already soaked here in the Florida attics. It is hot. All right, it's hot. We're coming down from the attic right there. We're gonna go ahead and grab our hose. We are now gonna connect it and spray down our condenser coils. Hope you visually inspect them, and they're not that bad. You know, there's a lot of people that just go up and down and spray them like this, and that works too if they're not real bad, right? But you are spraying it in the direction of the coil back into the coil. So if it's bad enough, it's just going to make your coil worse. So that's one way of doing it, the quick way, if they're not bad. The other way is Making sure you take off the breaker here. Now we're going to go ahead and unscrew all of these. Lift this up, flip it over, and move it off to the side. Be careful of the wires here. You don't want to pull them too much. But now you grab your hose. Now, if you got any coil cleaner, you can spray it on here first, after you wet down the coils, of course, first. But now we're spraying in the correct direction. So we're going to wet them down first. If we got a coil cleaner, we're going to put our coil cleaner on it, do a section at a time. Together, make sure your connection is straight and then you don't turn it to get it cockeyed, and this will hit the fan. Now we're going to take off the panel on the outside of the condenser. All right, here we have it here. I got your contactor, got your capacitor, and this is a 75, so plus or minus 6%. So I'm going to show you how to check your capacitor here. All right. You might want to figure out which ones are which, or take a picture of how they're hooked up, because you don't want to move it. All right, this one is the fan, this one is Herm, which is the compressor, and then you have the two commons. So what we can do is we can get rid of the fan and the compressor. Now we can check our microfarads. All right, we're going to go ahead and check the difference between the common and the fan cap here, which is a different, which is 5 microfarads on your meter. So we are allowed 5 here, plus or minus 6%. We're over the 5%, so we're good on the fan side, okay? Now, we're gonna check the compressor side. Now, all we're doing is switching it over to common and compressor. And now what we have here is 70.3. So we are good. We are good there. As long as we're not plus or minus 6%, more than what it's allowing, you're good to go. So this fan cap lives to see another summer. Anything low whatsoever, you want to make sure to change your capacitor out immediately, because that means your compressor or your fan's not going to start. And next time we come out, it's not going to make it to the 6 months, because we already know that it's going bad. This is why you have maintenance, to check these things. Now also, bugs and critters love sitting up here. They like electrical, they like warmth. So you get a lot of ants in your contactors too. So make sure you spray around here. That'll help a lot with the maintenance with bugs and stuff. But they'll get in there, they'll short out. Now, one other thing I don't see on here, I don't see a surge protector or a whole house surge protector here. I don't see a hard start, all right? And what I'll show you about a hard start is we will go ahead and turn our meter right on VAC. It's on volts. We want to hit select, and then now we want to hit the button on the side for inrush. We're going to clamp that right around here. Going to clamp that right there on inrush. So now when we go ahead and turn the fan on, that's going to be our starting amps when it turns on. It's not calling right now. The thermostat's not calling. $23.4 on startup. Then we can switch it just to amps. Now we can check running amps. 13. The running amps are 13.2 on that leg. And if you check your RLA here, it'll show you 23. So as long as that 13 doesn't get close to that 23, or the higher that it gets there, that means the more electric it's going to be using, and that's your capacitor, I'm sorry, your compressor. That's your compressor working harder and turning on and off more higher amps and running at higher amps. Now some of these units have longer screws and shorter screws. Make sure you remember which one the longer and smaller screws go in, because what can happen is you can go through the coil and put it in the wrong hole. So make sure you're putting the right ones in. I would put them in slowly, but don't make that mistake, because it happens. Now, if you vacuumed out the drain line and you put the vinegar in there and you vac them all out, there's no more water in there. So you want to start off by adding more water up to the top and not vacuuming it out and letting it free flow. All right, so that way you'll get water back in any traps that needs to be there. Okay, because you want water in this trap right here. So you can either do it from the top, you can do it this way. I don't recommend. This is also filling the trap, but it's also pushing water in the drain line to somewhat get some nasty stuff out of the drain line here. Okay, now just be careful, because by doing this you can shoot water inside, up in the cabinet. If you don't know what you're doing, again, do not recommend this step if you don't know what you're doing. You feel some pressure on there, you're getting some head pressure, and you can see the stuff coming out. Right, do that a couple more times, get nice drain line, nice and clear. Hey guys, all right, that's pretty much the maintenance. There's not a lot to it. A lot of people can do it, but it's 130 degrees up there. Not a lot of people want to do it. All right, so give us a call. We'll come out there, check your water and air, and do your maintenance on your water system or your air conditioner. Give us a call, 239-256-COOL. That's 239-256-2665. Thanks and have a good one. See you next time. chemical into the drain line to prevent drain lines from clogging up. Really works. So that's our refill. That's our split temperature differential, same thing as basically that. Some hot water and some vinegar. So that's all you pretty much need for maintaining your air conditioner. All right, that's it. It's hot. It's 125 degrees up there. We are going to go ahead and get a hose and clean the condenser coil. All right, so grab a hose. We're gonna go ahead and spray down the coils.